we're going to do, I'm going to do, and maybe you're going to do if we're watching together, this flower called the Nightlight. It's a rose. I'm going to show you a picture of it. Okay, here we go. So this is Nightlight. It's a climbing rose. And I found some pictures of it on Unsplash that I'm going to use as reference material. But none of my pictures are, none of my art is going to be directly like, you know, it's not going to be directly the same picture. I don't like to do that. I like to draw from an amalgamation of more than one photo. That's just, you know, it allows for more creativity, and it also makes it so you're not like directly copying anything. So I'm going to start with like a really light sketch. Sometimes I just start with the brush, and yesterday I started with the sketch and I thought that worked out really good. So I'm going to do that. So let's see, which one do I want to do? I'm also going to add lettering to it too. So I'm just marking out where my roses are going to go. And, you know, so these will just be a very sort of light sketch. And then I'll do like a light sketch, and then I'll go in with the paint pen and, or not paint pen. Oh my gosh, paint pen, brush pen. Go in with the brush pen after. So let's see. I don't have a lot of information from this one picture that I'm working from, but I'm going to look at a bunch of other pictures that I got on my phone. So I'll be able to be more, you know, I'll be able to actually have a more, you know, full-bodied approach to this rose, because you just can't get all the information you need from one picture. And I kind of like that, because it definitely takes you in your own direction, you know, instead of copying just like a picture. Hey, J Money, hi back to you. What are you doing today? Did you drink your coffee yet? Do you drink coffee at all? I had a lot of coffee today. So I'm wide awake. You know what I'm saying? I'm wide awake. So I'm gonna just roughly, I want to get all those little edges. No coffee. Hey, FX by Edits My Day is good. J Money, how's your day? You're good? You doing good? So we have a little fold in this one. Oh, I'm not sure that you can see that. I'm barely like, I'm looking at my screen, and I think I need to put the light up on it. All right, let's see. I'm also going to add lettering to this. I'm going to move the camera so you can see a little better. I'm going to add lettering to this too, because I like to draw flowers or just anything nature, and add like botanical reference points like in lettering. So I'll do like the name of the rose, and then I'll do, you know, how high they're climbing, like how high they can get the flower, and, you know, stuff like that. Just some little data points. That's just like how I like to do it. How's everyone's day going so far? So I got up really early. I mean, early for me. What? That's like, I mean, really. I got up at like 8 and got dressed, took a shower, and then getting ready for this. And yeah, so yesterday I live streamed a sunflower, and I'll show it to you real quick. So we did that yesterday. It's in my lives on my channel. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. I forget how much I like live streaming. I tend to go in spurts, and I really am really, focused on growing my channel because I love YouTube. I love YouTube. I love making videos, and, I love sharing my art and, my techniques and stuff, and just, like, talking art with people, and it's so fun, and I really love it, and I've done it for a long time, but never, like, super, consistently. Animating, what are you animating? Okay, I'm gonna go in with the brush pen. Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Cal. Okay, for any, replay watchers, Kai, Curia's Energy said, "Beautiful work, thank you." I'm gonna go in with this pen first. Yesterday, I went in with my gold later, and I thought today it might be kind of fun to go in a little first, so we can get a little bit of the gold down first. Oh, let me show you real quick what we're working from. This is like the general outline of what we're working from today. Not that one. This one up here. This is a book. Okay, I like to work from books that I just have in my collection. This is super, super old. I'm sure it's out of print. I'm sure it's out of print. It's wicked old. This flower is the Nightlight. It is the Rose, Nightlight Rose. So let's go in with the gold. And this is a Pentel brush pen, and it's got gorgeous gold ink. However, I have refilled it with this De La Rowney FW ink, which is also really nice. It's not quite the same, I will say. I'm also leaving some of the white. If I wasn't doing a live stream of this, I would probably erase some of these pencil lines because they're like a little dark. I should have probably worked a little lighter, but I forgot. I forgot what I was doing. I forgot I was gonna ink over this. Although I could take an eraser to it later, and maybe I will. But FX by Edits says I'm animating some shows to put up. I'm the owner of a studio that hasn't been built yet. Oh my goodness. Go for it. Go for it. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that you're doing your thing. Because we all have to do our thing because, like, no one's going to do it for us. And you know what? You do your thing. And you're going to, like, show everybody what you can do. That's all you can do. It's so hard sometimes, though, the self doubt, but don't do it. Don't go down the self doubt. Actually, just show up for yourself. Sounds like that's what you're doing. Oh my gosh, this thing needs more ink. You're welcome. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. We are the only ones that can show up for ourselves. We are all in this life, right? Okay, let me get Bob Ross on you. Okay, wait a minute. This is like my experimental way of filling. Squeeze. We're going to squeeze this guy. Then we're going to dunk it in here. And we're just going to try and refill it a little bit this way. So if I hear the bubbles, crispy bubbles. There we go. Yeah, we are all like, you got to be your own biggest advocate. You know what I mean? I mean, it goes for everything. It goes for your work. It goes for your health. It goes for everything. I was just on the phone yesterday for hours, just trying to get a stupid test. Okay, just trying to get a stupid blood test that I need. And I talked to my doctor's office, and she's like, "Yeah, insurance is ridiculous. We're gonna work it out." So they're gonna hopefully be able to get to the bottom of stuff for me. But you just got to show up for yourself every single day. And sometimes that's hard to do. And you know what? Sometimes that means like Sometimes that means hiding for a day, honestly. Your plus? Okay, FX edit says, plus I'm starting in a young age for my dream. That's okay. I mean, so I always felt like it was good to work for other people first so you could like learn, like get paid to learn. But okay, but I'm ancient and things are different now. You know what I mean? Like the landscape is different. We all have a lot more information at our disposal now. So I need to revisit, and I think I am revisiting that opinion because this world is so different than it was when I was starting out. And I do think that was the way to go. I mean, things just change so fast these days. Oh my gosh. Even from when I started my YouTube channel, um, when I really started posting was like in 2017. And even just 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. What is that? How many years do we have? I can't do math. Is that like 8 years ago? Even since then, you guys. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast the world moves these days. Okay, I'm gonna maybe, well, I want to throw some water on this, but I'm not going to do it yet because I'm going to introduce the ink pen. I mean, the black waterproof ink pen to this. And once I do that, the waterproof, the pigment ink, hopefully, will set up enough so that I can add some Neocolors to this in a little bit. Neocolor 2, which is a water soluble pastel. And I do want to add a little bit of color to this, I think. I mean, I'm going to see how it works out, but I do want to, I think, add some color to this. Just a little bit. I grabbed a few Neocolors, and I'll show you them real quick. So if you're not familiar with these, they're great. These are water-soluble pastels. I want to show you what they look like real quick on like on a craft paper. So they are opaque. Most of the time, depending on what you put them on. And they're water soluble, so you can kind of do washes with them and stuff, and they're great. Okay, here comes the fun stuff. We're gonna go in with the black. So I have two of these, and then I have this one, which is a compact. This has a smaller, tighter brush, which you can get fine line with, but these are way more flexible in terms of like the different styles of lines you can get because the brush is longer. So this one is, yeah, this is the medium and this is a super fine. So I'm gonna go in with the medium one right now. Let's start. I'm just gonna start with, and I just refilled these yesterday. You know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna try this one because it's. I think I don't want to overwhelm this with too much. I want to go slow. So see the difference there. That you get a nice. Excuse me. That was a coffee gulp. So these flowers have this cute little, on some of the leaves, they have that little divot. And then they have sort of a little circle in the middle of the pistil. Is that a pistil? And then they have these cute little, in the very, very center. Sometimes they're looking like your typical rose. That's how this one is in the picture. But I drew a little pistil inside of this one, even though it's not like that. The leaves are like overlapping. And this guy definitely has a very active center. They're all sort of poking up. And then they have this little thing on the end like that. And then the center is really like kind of dense. I don't want to do too much black in case I decide to go in with the Neocolors. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do that or not. I love these leaves. They're like great paper. My arm's brushing against my paper. Sorry about that. So this is, I think, strangely, I'm really enjoying using this pen. Usually, I prefer these over this one. But this one's great for this. I'm going to hold off on working on things that I would add like super amount of shadow to until I make a decision on whether or not I'm going to go in the Neocolors. And I picked out a few Neocolors because I like to limit. I like to just have things handy, ready for me. So I'm not deciding with you guys here because that's just too much. That's just too much for me to do while I'm also drawing. So see how I drew that before? I'm just covering it up because I decided to do my rose a different way, and that's cool. I will say that I'm not going to my pictures on my phone. What we got here? Let's see. I did take a couple screenshots of the rose that I'm drawing, and I'm just trying to see, do I have it? Oh, there, no, there it is, there it is, there it is. Okay, so there's another one. Oh. There's another one. Okay, yeah, I just like to have some other reference around, you know, because I like to do like an amalgamation of of different pictures. Like this one I'm using definitely for the basic, you know, composition. I like to have other reference because you can't get everything from one picture, nor should you, right? Because this is all, you know, when you're drawing from photos, like when you're drawing things like flowers and stuff, you are a little detective. You're a little detective. You're like, you are sussing out, you know, all the little things. Okay, we got to fix the light here because I don't want you to get this heavy shadow. Am I getting, let me know if you think I'm overdoing the giving a crap about the lighting and stuff. Like, hey, just draw. Just draw. I do love some detail. I'm a lefty, so as a lefty, I mentioned this yesterday. I'm gonna mention it again. It can be a little bit challenging to kind of position your camera and to excuse me, to position your camera and to get the lighting right for your artwork, because if you're recording yourself, because or doing like a live stream, because you know I'm casting shadows all over the place. Let me move this so you can see better. Yeah, because I'm busy over here casting shadows all over. Also, I do tend to sometimes work from one end to the other, like from here to here, because, or you'll see me work all around in different places because I got to give things time to dry in order to work over it, because I'll smudge it. That's just like the life. That's just the life. That's the life of a lefty. I mean, it's kind of cool because it actually is nice because I always like to look at the bright side. Right? It helps me to sort of pay attention to everything a little bit more instead of just focusing on one area. And when you focus on one area, you get, you know, when you hyper focus on one portion of your piece, it sort of lends itself more to self-criticism, and that is just like the enemy. You know what I mean? When you're in the middle of your art, because those two mentalities are not compatible. Like the curiosity factor and creating your piece and judging your piece, or you're like using two totally different you know, consciousness consciousnesses or parts of your brain or whatever. I'm just adding some I'm just adding some darker bits to sort of add some depth to parts, and then giving myself a cue on where to pull out the light later. So, like, I could add some, see, in this little spot here, there's leaves, but you can't really see the leaves. But I think I just want to make it clear to myself so later I know that that's not, you know, that's going to be like a darker spot. But I also don't want to draw attention to it, you know, because it doesn't need attention. So I'll do that later. I'll take care of that. Oh, you know what we got to do? We got to do some lettering on here. Okay, this is called the Nightlight. So I'm going to go in with the gold. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Now I'm going to go in with the gold and do my text. So I screenshotted earlier this information just from Google. Climbing rose with uniquely colored blooms. So this is sort of an easy way to just sort of have fun and do it. So I know it's called a nightlight. It's a nightlight climbing rose. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Yeah, just because I'm going to be drawing from the left here. You know what? All right. I'm starting. I'm doing. Apologies. Apologies for this. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I like to do a play on name. I'm going to do like a little moon. Nightlight. This is going to get dark in a minute when I do the ink. So where am I going to put the moon? Did I leave room for the moon? No. Let's do a little star here. And let's do, I'm just giving myself some cues. I'll make a little moon somewhere. Where are we going to put a moon? I love to work lettering in. And then this is an L. I know it's probably really hard to see my pencil. We're going to go in with the ink in a minute. And then it'll be more clear. All right, let's just go in with the ink. We're going to just freestyle, which I usually do. You know, sometimes I do the freestyle thing and then I need to take an eraser to it, which is fine, but I don't really want to be doing that on a live stream. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to fill in here with some additional decorative elements and more information about the nightlight rose. Did you hear that? That was my stomach. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. Night lights. Okay. Here comes the fun part. All right, let's do this. Climbing. Climbing. Oh, no. Oh, sorry, guys. So with lettering, one of the things that is important to me, and you might not know it because of what I just did, is like readability. So I think it comes from my design background. So readability is always like super important, even in art, even when you're doing just like decorative art. I have it really branded in my brain. But usually with readability, it's like harder for your brain to like attach to, you know, the letters, if you get what I'm saying, when they're vertically written like that. So I'm just sort of doing this on the fly right now, which is great. Love it, right? But if I could go back, probably wouldn't have just like shoehorned climbing in here this way. But I did, and that's fine. But See, now I'm gonna try and make it work a little bit differently. And now this is a heavier line, so I'm just gonna balance it on the other side with a little bit of more ink over here too, just because that helps me to balance this in my brain. Again, here's the design stuff coming in. Now that I did that heavier. Okay, so we're getting into the lettering here. Also, when I am doing stuff like drawing, lettering, whatever, and I'm working on something that's, this is 9 by 12. So I often will like turn my page around to whatever works for me. And I'm not really going to do that on a live stream, but there ain't nothing wrong with that if that's what you do. If on some of my videos, you can see that I do that on some videos, but you might be able to tell because of how I edit them that something's in a different position, but I try and edit things so that you can not be jarred by like a moving picture that way. I'm going to start over here, or should I say continue over here, because I don't want to. I don't want to get my hand smudging everything. I wish they made, maybe they do, a camera thing that would like zoom out and in as needed without you having to do it, because that would be like perfect right now. Put another leaf in here. A petal, I mean. Not a leaf, it's a petal. This is definitely getting more graphic now. See, there we go. Just got some ink on there. All right, now I'm gonna deep yellow flowers that are often flushed with soft red, particularly in the outer petals. Slight citrus, 4 inches in diameter. Let's do that. Stems are often 4 inches in diameter. Double form. Let's do that. Double. I love a good D. Let's go double. Form. Double form. I don't know if that's like an actual, is that an actual? Double, okay, that's a little wacky, huh? Is that readable as an M? No. Let's make it more M-like. There we go. All right, double, that doesn't read as is. See, always got to think about readability here. As experimental and freeform as lettering can be, and that is what I love to do the most, is just experimental freeform lettering. But you know what? It's got to be readable too. Even if it means you have to like stop and read it, that's fine. But you know, it's got to be readable. I'm going to add in a little bit over here too. Try and move my hand so I'm not in your way. I'm going to bring some of those little guys in here too. Some of those little shading marks. In the part of the petal that's being sort of shaded by the other petal in front of it. And now I'm just doing, this is just abstract fun. This is just decorative elements that I wanted to add in there. And then sometimes it's just fun to make marks. I don't want to do it at the expense of readability. So all right, what are we doing now? We now are going to write let's do something a little wacky. I love to draw a lemon. So why not? Because it has a slight citrus fragrance. So let's use this opportunity to get a lemon in here. Plus, if I do go in with the colored, if I do go in with the Neo colors, I have some yellows in there. blooms. Do another flower. Double form, 30 plus petals. Let's put that into 30. I like that little bit of information. It's kind of unique, you know? 30 plus petals. Claim to fame. This rose has 30 plus petals in each bloom. That's a big deal, right? Selling point, right? Right. I'm gonna add a few. All right. Variety is a continuous bloomer. Oh, that's a big deal too. Continuous bloomer. And hold on, what other information do we want to put in here? Slight citrus fragrance. 4 inches, blooms 4 inches in diameter. Continuous bloomer. Blooms. All right, let's go here. Let's do this. I'm going to move the camera like that. Sorry about that scraping noise. That's my mic. Blooms. 4 inches. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this so you can see better. How's that? A little better? I think that might be better. Always moving around as a lefty. Use my stomach is growling. Oh, did you hear that? Oh no, I hope you're not just listening to my stomach growl. All right. Blooms 4 in diameter and then continuous bloomer. Let's do that. That's a big deal too. That is important to note. Oh, thank you. Thank you, love. And I love your name. Love. Continuous. All right. Bloomer. Bloomer. E-L-O. Let's make some little roses. The O's. Continuous bloomer. Not a lot of room here. Gotta really get tight on here. Get in here. Wasn't I just talking about readability? What happened? What's going on here? Is this readable? I do have white paint pen. But that's okay. I can fix it later. All right. That E is a little wonky too. Okay. Now I'm gonna look at this guy as a whole and sort of see where we are. And this is Brush Pen Practice. I'm Kathy Weller Art. Trying to grow my channel. I do art videos. I do product videos. Just a lot of just like art support stuff. And just geeky videos for geeky artists like myself. For people who love art supplies and stuff like that. I do a tiny bit, It didn't used to be a tiny bit, but it's getting more and more tiny bit. Videos about print on demand and Etsy, a longtime Etsy seller. And anyway, but I really love YouTube. I love to make videos. Oh, I have classes on Skillshare too. I do classes as well. Now I'm just adding some flourishes. Yeah. What do you guys think? Should I add some color to this? I'm sort of on the fence because it's very busy. Maybe like a little bit of color. I always feel like less is more sometimes when you have a lot going on. And there's a lot going on here. I'm going to put this so you can see it better. Like that. Okay. Now, let's go in. All right. I have this peachy, this sort of orangey yellow. And then I have a really light yellow. And then I have a white, which I might not need the white. And I have this amazing, amazing pink, hot pink color that I think I'm going to use for maybe some like just little bits, just some little bits. So just gonna get my Neocolor kind of clean. And then I'm just gonna add to okay. Since this is my darkest color that I have here, I'm going to use this to help show where the depth is. Because I'm working on white paper, I'm using the white page as my highlight as well. So that is the, I don't want to go and have to go in with a paint pen or something. I mean, I would if I needed to, but that's not really what I want to do. So this is for details, or not details. This is for punctuation in parts of it, of the piece. Yeah, just to add a little oomph, you know what I mean? So, and also to show some depth. So that's where I'm going. That's my MO for this guy. We're going to use this one to show depth. And I know, right? It's like fluorescent pink. And how is that going to work? Well, I'll show you how it's going to work. And will it work? I think it'll work. Yes, I think so. So once I start putting it in these little places, you see what I'm talking about, right? It's giving the feeling of like pockets and of shadows and of those little like darker places. Kind of cool that you can do that with a fluorescent colored crayon, right? Kind of cool. That's my stomach growling, sorry. Sorry. I had coffee this morning, but I didn't have any food yet. But I'm like well coffeeed, so. All right. Let's see. We also have to contend with our leaves. Now, I didn't pick out any greens for my leaves, so I think I might do that. Like one or two. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy, nothing too much, right? Just something. Yeah, okay. So here's my Neocolors that are warm, and here's my Neocolors that are cool. And I'm just gonna pick out real quick. Just gonna pick out, I think I want something, I think I know what I want. Let me see if I can find it. Can I find it? Is it? That might actually work. Whoops, that might work. Is this it? That could be useful. I'm gonna try and keep it real simple. Let me see if I can find the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a sagey green. A sagey green that is not very I want a sagey. I want that sagey green. Where is it? Come on, sagey green. Where are you? I might have to make do. Oh, we got it. There's one. Okay, let's do that. We got the sagey green right here. I got a gray if I want to mix it up. I have this lighter green if that might come in handy. So that's good. All right, that's all we need. I don't want to bring too much into the mix here. I really want that sagey green. Okay, so this is what we're going to use for. Oh, that looks. Oh, you know what I did? I grabbed my water brush pen. But if I don't have that, I did have that. I filled it with water to bring it into this live, and I don't know where it is now. Isn't that perfect? I might just use my finger. It's like I am not someone who will not get my hands dirty, okay? I mean, I refilled my ink pens yesterday. I refilled these, and I recorded it for your viewing pleasure. And I got ink everywhere, all over the place, all over my hands. I can't even believe I got it off, but I did. Okay, here's what we got. Second best, and maybe even better than my brush pen because my brush on my water pen is really tiny. I'm going to put some water, and I have a nice brush here. I have a lot of brushes. Let's use this one. No, that one's too hard. Let's use this one. This is nice. This is one of those Princeton Selects I love. I love it. Let's just do this. Add a little give it a little bit of a wash. A wash. There we go. So I think now these pens, the black ink one, the black ink Pentel brush pens, they use the one I was using. I mean, it depends on the kind you get, but whether they have pigment ink, which is waterproof and light fast and all that. So the one I was using is, but I do think it takes a little bit of time to set before it's completely waterproof. So I think we are seeing a little bit, just a little bit of bleed. Not much, and it's not a big deal. There's a cat tongue, I think, cat tongue brush. This is another Princeton Select. I love these brushes. Yeah, so it's sort of variable. Like if you do a piece with just the black waterproof pigment ink, that's sort of the keyword is pigment. pigment ink. That's the one that's waterproof. But it's like variable the amount of time it takes for it to set. Anyway, that's just a good to know type of thing. I'm gonna go in with this, this is a Neocolor 2 golden yellow. So I'm just gonna go in and just pull out, or actually not pull out, because the white of the paper is my highlight. So I'm gonna try and keep the things I want to pop out. I'm gonna try and keep them white. And you'll see I sort of got a little murky with some of these leaves, right? Because we have the gold ink, we have the black ink, and then we have where I put this. This one is chromium oxide green. Okay, so I used that, and it's a very flat, matte green, sage green. It's beautiful, but it's still a little wet, and you can see, maybe you can't see, I don't know if you can, how it looks for you, you know, on camera, but to me, like this color does, it does go over the ink and it does flatten it a little bit. So I might go back into some of these places and pull out the black ink part, pull out the blacks again. Yeah, so I think I might do that. So I'm just building on the pink, and the pink is my depth. The pink is, I put the pink where there was depth, and now I'm pulling out a little more color out of that. And I don't want to use too much of the pink. Where did I put my pink? I don't know. I don't really, I probably shouldn't use more pink anyway. I want to not use too much of the pink. I want to keep it so it has impact. So I'm keeping the white of the page is going to be my highlight. So the yellow is also the color of the flower, but it's also, I'm putting it where I want, you know, a little depth to be, and some flat areas that are like maybe concave or not having the light hit them, the parts where like the color is more saturated. So the leaves underneath, behind the topper leaves, the leaves on top of them are gonna have the yellow around the inside perimeter, and then the outer is gonna stay white because that's where the highlight is. That's where the light is hitting it the hardest. Okay, I'm pretty good on these now. And I want to, I think I'm gonna add some touches, like bring all the colors together a little better. So I'm gonna actually use my green to flesh out some of the darks in the lettering of the words of the which are also there's also sort of decorative detail, right? So and I can use the brush there too if I want, but I think I might just leave it and then go over, touch it up with a little bit of black ink after. And if I can find my green, I mean my pink rather, sorry. I can find my pink. And I think I want to use me. Oh, okay. I found my pink. I found it. How did it end up in here? How'd you end up in there? Oh, gosh. This is what I did on the live stream yesterday, sunflower. So that's in my live tab on my page. And let's go in with a little bit more of this pink. I just want to make sure that I use it where I want to put it. I got to be strategic about this. So I'm going to do a little bit up here on the star because I want to put it like, I want to make your eye dance around the page. So I'm going to use it maybe down here, or should I use the yellow? Because I'm also going to use the yellow. So I think hmm, oh, this is a tough one. Do I want to do pink or do I want to do yellow and then pink here? I'm overthinking this. I don't want to do that. That is